Hi everyone, my name is Mackenzie Quick. Today I'll be going over counselor competency and wellness. So for the first off, what are the most common reasons for a board to discipline a counselor, and what is your personal reaction as you read through the list? So I went onto New Jersey ConsumerAffairs.gov, and it provided all the violations that occurred over the years. I more specifically looked at 2019, 2018 because I have another study that I will address that kind of covered the years prior. So for 2018, 2019, the ones I found that were most common were assault purposely and knowingly causing bodily harm, harassment, malpractice, dual relationships, substance abuse disorders, distributing substances, and insurance fraud. And then High and Bacombe in 2017, they did a study across 28 states. That included New Jersey for the fact that they have access online to the violations, and they provided a list of the most common violations. They also provided a list of the disciplinary actions for the violations, and they actually matched to what I found for the past 2 years for the state of New Jersey. And for the violations, the top 10 that occurred were failure to meet the CE requirements, dual relationship, unprofessional conduct, providing counseling without the proper license, convicted of a non-counseling related crime, failure to maintain records, and unsuitability due to mental or physical conditions. These were like the most common among the 28 states, and what I found were very similar in what I found in my cases. And then for the disciplinary actions part, they were pretty similar as well to what New Jersey does. The one I found was most frequent was fines, mandatory CEs, reprimand, indefinite suspension, probation, revocation, and voluntary surrender of the license. And mandatory supervision were all common disciplinary actions in the state of New Jersey. So then the next question, how might self-care or lack thereof result in counselor impairment? I have another study that I read upon, and it was Hunter in 2016, and he suggested that there's 3 different phases. He mentioned the first was burnout, and how people are clinicians or therapists are unable to recognize their own signs of burnout. If this persists, it might go on to compassion fatigue, and where we really are not providing the best services that we should to our clients, and if that persists, there's secondhand depression. So for example, if you have a caseload of 10 cases and you continually hear day in and day out a lot of negativity consistently, it might affect you to the level of secondhand depression if it persists, and we aren't finding like a way to balance our wellness properly. From there, so what does the ACA Code of Ethics and the professional counselor say about counselor wellness and impairment? So more specifically in Section C, it was over professional responsibility, and then even more specifically in C2G, that specifically mentioned impairment. And I will read from the ACA Code of Ethics in 2014. It says counselors monitor themselves for signs of impairment from their own mental, physical, or emotional problems and refrain from offering or providing professional services when impaired. And then it even goes on to say that we should assist colleagues and helping them recognize their own professional impairment. Recognizing like, hey, if you see your friend, like you could tell that they, or your colleague, and you could tell that they aren't themselves. It's fine to, address and be like, hey, like, why don't you take a vacation? Maybe we should join a yoga class, anything to kind of help them get back on that, in the spectrum of like wellness to impairment, get on that more, back to their wellness and professionalism when it comes to their profession. And then a question that came to mind when I was reading a lot of this is there something maybe with agencies that they can make it mandatory for like every so many months that we have to do an assessment tool, self-assessment tool as therapists to kind of see where we're at on our spectrum of wellness to impairment, to make sure that we can hold ourselves accountable, and we are able to recognize maybe we need to engage in mindfulness or counseling services for ourselves or exercising, whatever it might be. But yeah, thank you guys again. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week.